I can't hear you. I'll bring you on. We'll be able to hear you once I bring you on. Hey, well, everybody, welcome to another Paranormal Q&A with Jack, Kenna, and
Carly Hall.
Carly Hall. Hey, we're a couple minutes late tonight. Sorry, everybody. I had some problems pairing my headset up tonight, so I had to fix that. So we got that done. Got a special guest tonight, huh, Carly? Very good special guest, very good friend of ours, Mr. Sam Beltrusis.
Yes.
So do you have his thing in front of you? I'll let you read his. Tell everybody about Sam.
Yeah. So Sam Beltrusis. Yes. So Sam Beltrusis, author of Ghostwriters and Ghosts of Salem, has penned more than a dozen paranormal-themed books, including Mass Murders and the upcoming Ghosts of the American Revolution. He has been featured on several national TV shows, including the Travel Channel's A Haunting, Most Terrifying Places, Haunted Towns, and Haunted USA. In 2020, he made a cameo on several television programs, including Paranormal Night Shift, Most Terrifying with Jason Hawes, and Forbidden History. In 2021, he is appearing as an expert on Fright Club, a new show with the Ghost Brothers and Jack Osbourne on Discovery Plus. Beltrusis is a sought-after lecturer who speaks at libraries and paranormal-related events across the country. In the past, he has worked for VH1, MTV.com, Newsweek, and ABC Radio, and as a regional stringer for the New York Times. Visit sambeltrusis.com for more information.
Yeah, so I would say this. If there's one... Everybody says they see me on TV all the time. If you think that's the case, you must see Sam a lot more than you see me. He does a lot more stuff than I do. We're rivaling at it. We're trying to see who gets the most. Sam wins. It's okay. And without further ado, here's our good friend Sam Beltrusis, who just came off his own show. How you doing, Sam?
Hey guys, how are you?
I know your face has to be more of a household figure than mine is. I hear mine all the time. Like well, people are always saying, "I saw you on TV today. I saw you on TV." You must get that a lot more than I do.
I do, and you know it's weird. Like some of the shows that I've been on has recently premiered in like Germany and like other countries. So it's even more strange to get people from other countries go, "Hey, I saw you in Germany," and I'm like, "Really? Like I was on in Germany?"
yeah. It's true. Yeah, it is. I mean, I started noticing that with Haunted Case Files and Paranormal Survivor. Both of them went way, took off over in the UK and stuff. So I was getting Germany. I still get people even Australia now. I mean, it's crazy. Once your face gets out there, it just gets out there. So it's fun. It's fun and it's interesting, but I still don't totally understand it all. But okay. Well, I think it's, being on TV is not everybody gets to be on TV. I get that, but
Well, you and I both though, Jack, having done a lot of television, really the TV is like a flash in the pan. What we do off the camera is what really is sort of like what we're about. And I know for me personally, like I'm an author and I love writing books. I love going to investigations. I love, I love that stuff. And for me, the TV just kind of like brings in more people to my world to kind of see what I do when the cameras aren't rolling. Yeah,
that's exactly it too. I mean, and that's exactly why, well, we fell on it kind of by accident. I think we kind of both did. I fell into it by accident with Paranormal Survivor by just, making a phone call, and they answered a few questions and I liked who it was. I liked the company, which was Our House Media. So we did a lot of work with them. They were good people and I had a lot of fun with them. And then others just follow after that, because people move around. They start saying, "Hey, call this person. They're good at interviewing," basically is what it's really about. So they end up calling you and it's like, we'll see how it goes. You talk to them about the show, what's going on, what they plan to do. And if you like it, you do it. If you don't, I walk away, so, and I know you do too. And I know you've walked away from a few projects.
I have,
not your thing, right? It's just doesn't make sense,
Well, for me, if they want me to say the D word, I actually got this advice from our friend John Zaffis. He's like, "Sam, if they ever make you say the D word, like walk out of the room." And I'm like, "Okay, John." And you know what? It did come up. And actually, I was supposed to be on a show, and I literally said, you know what? I can't. This is not demonic, and I'm not going to say that on camera. And I didn't walk out of the room, but I did put my foot down. And you know what? I didn't end up on the show. And I'm not going to name the show, but I will. I have stood up for what I believe in. I've turned down I'm to the point now where I can turn down shows. I don't take every show that comes my way.
Right. Yeah, you get to pick and choose. Yeah, and I've had to do things like that too. And my tactic was, I'm just not going to say it, period. Because, they were like, because there was one for one of Haunted Case Files. They're like, don't you think that was demonic and stuff? I think it was season 1. I'm like, you don't think it was a demon?
No.
You're not going to say it, are you? I said, no, because you'll edit it in. And they're like, oh, you figured it out.
I'll tell you the first time that I had an issue, and I'm friends with a producer, so I'm not going to bash the show or name the show.
No, I don't bash anybody.
And I basically was on camera, and I was talking about Mary Corey, and Mary Corey was the second wife to Giles Corey, who was pressed to death during the Salem witch trials.
Right.
Yeah, so Mary's kind of like overlooked in Salem because she was not one of the victims of the witch trials. Now, the producers wanted it to be Martha Corey, who was actually executed, and they were like, well, who was Giles' third wife? And I'm like, Martha Corey, and they took that bit and they edited it into the clip, so it looked like it looked like I said Martha Corey and not Mary Corey. And I'm like, come on, guys, you can't revise history.
Yeah, right. Yes, they can. They can. Doesn't mean it's right, but they can. That's why you got to be careful what you say. I just got to take a moment to say hi to everybody out there, because they've all been saying hi to us out there, saying Bob Maloney, John McGinnis, Barry Martz, Carl Mitchell, Bob Burnell. They're all out there. Thirsty Tom is out there. He's on YouTube, watching us on YouTube. Paula Rodriguez. So if you guys, Sam is here, and people out there, we answer your questions about the paranormal out there. So Sam always has some very unique and I think very interesting and good and solid views on the paranormal and different things. So if you guys got any questions for him, ask him while he's out there. You also have your own show, which you were just on before us. So tell them also while we're sitting out there, maybe waiting for a question or two. Well, tell us about your own show and what you guys cover on there. I know it's you and Keith still, right? So
so it's a weekly radio show. It's right before you guys. We do promote. Make sure you go right to Jack and Carly on the Paranormal Q&A. But yes, it's called Paranormal Rewind. It's on KCOR, which is a radio station that's based in Las Vegas. And I'll tell you, it's really, we started in May, and it's every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we have had amazing guests. We have had the Paranormal Rewind Awards, which is honoring the excellence in television and pop culture of the paranormal. And we had thousands of listeners to the show. So it really has kind of exploded over this past year. So it's me and our good friend, Keith Bailey, on the show. And Keith and I kind of like the odd couple. We fight, we're like brothers, and we kind of bicker, but it works. It's kind of strange.
Well, that can make a really good show though, because you're getting that little bickering, kind of brotherhood kind of thing going on. And people like that because they're getting, they're getting that little mix, but they're also getting two sides of a coin, right? I mean, different aspects, different looks of different things and different insights to different things. So, I mean, that's what I think what helps make a good show and stuff too. Carly just sits there and be quiet, but that's, her. Yep.
Managing the stuff in the background.
Not so much on her own thing she does though. But,
oh God, I was doing dances today. Jeez.
Yeah, with her
I got my month's worth of exercise in my stream today.
Yeah, she does her game streaming stuff. So we're gonna, but it's a whole different thing, not paranormal related at all, but it's a lot of fun. So Bonnie Poole, we see her out there. So again, you guys, you got any questions for Sam? Throw them out there. I know they always got questions, and they were quiet tonight. I don't know what their problem is. They must like listening. That's it. They're like listening to us. Usually I start to lose them at some point because they start talking amongst themselves and they just totally ignore us.
Well, I will say a lot of people, Jack and Carly, that listen to your show or watch your show also they listen or talk to on the Paranormal Rewind. So a lot of Bob Burnell, has the best questions on Paranormal Rewind. So they probably have already asked the questions.
Yeah, they probably have. No, we got a bot coming in too. That's great.
Oh, just ignore them. We don't want to become famous. We don't want to buy.
No, we don't want to be. We already are, right, Sam? We're already famous. We don't need to be famous.
Again, it's not about the fame. It's about the truth. And
I know. I'm just talking about the
bot.
just joking about the bot out there. because a bot's saying, "You want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, blah blah blah." Yeah, okay, I'm gonna buy followers. That's
So
what I
Jack,
said. We don't need to. We're already famous. What the hell?
I will say this. So I basically just had Don DeCristofaro on Paranormal Rewind, and we were talking about the U.S. Salem, and I wanted to ask you guys about that photo of whatever it was in front of you guys when you were on the U.S. Salem with Chris Sanders.
It looks like a hand. It does look like a hand. We were there. Obviously, I was there. I'm in the
We
photo.
were looking right at the camera. There was nothing there.
There was nobody in front of us that could have been waving in front of us, right? There was somebody off to the side in that room, but they weren't close to where they could have put their hand in front of us. They were too far off to the far side. So I can't explain it. It did happen. I will say this. As you walk through into the galley there, it says crew's mess, right? So I made the stupid joke, dad joke. It's their mess. Let them clean it up. And then he took the picture and that hand was there.
I think
so I'm wondering if it had something to do with my comment, my stupid joke.
It was literally right after.
I will say this, guys, is that we were talking about this on because I spent a month and a half on the USS Salem during the haunted attraction called Ghost Ship Harbor, and that's where I met Don DeCristofaro and a lot of the people that are on the Greater Boston Paranormal Associates. And I will say, like, when I've seen things attack other people, it's when they kind of joke around. Our friend Colin Costello she was joking around, like her toothbrush started kind of like vibrating in her purse, and she made an off-color comment, and the entity kind of like rose up behind her and chased her off the vessel. So it could have been somehow the joke was offensive to them. I'm not sure, but I have seen that before.
Probably heard it a million times, but I didn't want to hear it again. So, I mean, it was just saying it to Carly mostly because it was just me and her starting to come through the doorway when Chris stopped and said, "Hey, let me get your picture." And I said, "Okay." So yeah, it's probably like, "Oh, enough already. Stop with the."
It's like stop it.
Joke. Yeah, stop cut the stupid jokes.
That is a good point, though.
We didn't have any bad happen after that, but I think maybe they're just like enough already. But I was like, I didn't make any jokes after that, so I was like, okay, I get it, But yeah, that's a legit photo because, like I said, we were there. There was two people behind us, and Chris and a couple of his people were in there, and then somebody else was, like I said, they were off to what would have been that side, but they were like way off. They couldn't have, unless they got really stretched their arm, they can't reach that far. So yeah, I don't know how to explain that one. And if you look, it looks kind of almost like see-through for the whole thing too. So it's we lost your sound there, Sam.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'll tell you. All of a sudden we have a snowstorm, and I'm in Boston, and so like it just kind of came out of nowhere. So we have all of this action going out. So if you hear like people making noise, it's because they're getting rid of the snow outside of my house.
That's right. We got
what happens over there.
We had the same thing here too. So we got a ton of snow out here. We still got more coming. We've got, I think, about probably 3 inches right now, but there's supposed to be more coming. So tonight, so we'll see. Yeah, wonderful. At least it's not the 4 feet we got a month ago.
It was like the whole winter's worth of snow. I literally went outside and I had like sunk in the snow. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna drown. And then like I got to my car, I couldn't even open the door. I live 10 minutes away from work, and I had to call in.
Yeah,
because I just walked out to the road and said, "This is the height of my tire. I can't get out of here." And then the snowplow came and took all the snow and like put it in front of our driveway anyway. So
yeah, that was like, fun shoveling that out.
I go to work.
Yeah, that was fun shoveling that out. So yeah. Matter of fact, it got so bad I even had to kind of shuffle an angle for the two cars to be able to get in and out between each other because it just got too much of a pile. Eventually.
That wasn't fun.
No, it wasn't fun. But that was the worst of it. I don't have that excuse anymore since I actually work from home right here in this office. So I don't have an excuse to not work. It's not like I can call this. I can't make it in today. Your office is right next door to your. Yeah, I know. I got to walk across. You got to walk across the hall. It's tough when you don't have that excuse. I don't get a snow day. Damn it.
Jack, so have you found like kind of having, because I've had to work from home a lot as an author, do you find I've gained a lot of weight? Like are you like, is weight an issue when you're staying at home?
Actually, Sam, if you saw me now, you'd say, "Oh my God, what happened to you?" I've lost over the time that we've been home probably like 45 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having the opposite.
Most people do. What I found though is I got tired of eating.
Oh, okay.
I got tired. It's like I have a cup of coffee, I maybe have a breakfast sandwich, and then sometimes I won't eat really again till dinner, and then I have a small dinner. So I haven't been eating that much, but actually, which is good for me because I needed to lose weight. So I'm down to 225 right now. So
that's great.
Yeah. My goal is 200, so we're getting there.
So probably the weight you lost kind of came on me.
My sister wanted it because she's so skinny and she can't seem to get any. I said, I wonder where it went. I guess we know.
You look great though.
We know where a part of it went. Anyway, I don't think you got it all, but maybe you look the same. I don't know. I can't tell. It does happen to most people though. You end up, you're sitting at a table or sitting at your desk doing your writing or whatever it is we have to do, and you're sedentary. So unless you get out and go walk around and do something, you're stuck, right? So it happens. You end up gaining weight. But that's true of even my desk job. At my desk, I did the same thing. Sat at a desk at work all day. So but I did find, yes, actually, since all this started, I've actually been eating less, which is kind of strange. But I even asked my doctor about that because I just got weighed last week. That's how I knew what I weighed. And she's like, well, actually, I've been hearing it from a lot of people. They've just some people it's because of depression. Others it's just because they just actually get sick of eating because you don't feel like making stuff. You don't, if you have something to eat, it's like you can't spend all day eating. You find other things to do though. I mean, keep busy with like I said, writing or stuff like that. And I got to work my job all day, so I sit there and do that. And I have a cup of coffee, bottle of water, which I have with me right now somewhere. I got a bottle of water back behind me. That's it. So but sucks. You gained weight, huh, Sam?
Well,
don't gain weight. Don't gain weight. Just stop eating.
Yeah, for me, like I so thank God for Paranormal Rewind because it really has kept me kind of focused on my passions. I will say that it's hard not to be able to go to the locations that we normally go to because like normally we would be going to multiple locations, and I've actually have done a lot of like within Massachusetts because we can actually travel within Massachusetts. So I revisited a lot of the haunts that I haven't really focused on. Like I've done a lot of overnights in Salem. I've done a lot of overnights. I just did a documentary in Provincetown, which you were at the Provincetown Paracon, Jack. So you have that experience there too. And then I go to the Concord's Colonial Inn, which is a place that I visited before the lockdown, but I've been going a lot since the lockdown because it's so close to me and it's very haunted. And I find that this has kind of been a really good time to do those overnight haunted hotel investigations that I've been wanting to do for so long.
That's true. Yeah, I never thought about doing anything like that. Because same thing, we haven't been doing really anything. I did which we probably won't do to the end of February. I did agree to do a case just recently, only because it involves a 9-year-old kid. So, and they're out in Massachusetts, out your way. So we did agree to do that because they actually contacted us months ago, and I gave them some suggestions, stuff like that. But things have been getting worse, and they filled out our form. And I said, well, okay, we'll schedule a date to come out and we'll do that. But I think I got to call them this week and start working on that. But that's the only one I've agreed to do. And that's only because it involved a young kid like that. So, but we haven't done much of anything. I mean, we did a few things this year, but that was earlier this year, right, Carly? We did an event. We did what? 2 fundraiser events this year.
Not this year.
It was it last year?
It was because it's still the first.
Well, I'm thinking 2020. It's 2021 now, Jack. Wake up. Okay.
Time flies.
Last year. Like April.
January. It was near Rochester.
That was before the lockdowns. I'm thinking since the lockdowns.
Were you guys able to do Selma Mansion this year?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what. Yes.
We did. And we did Holderman Mansion.
Oh, that's good.
2 things we did.
Yeah, I was
we
able to
end up still going down for Gettysburg, but we just hung out because they canceled it. So other than that, we haven't really done much. You know?
I was able to go to Selma when I went to Fort Mifflin, and I loved it. I love the people there. I love the location, the ghosts there. What did you guys pick up at Selma Mansion?
I didn't really wander around too much. I did pick up maybe a couple spirits up in the upper stairs, the third floor section. We didn't do an investigation that night, so
okay.
We just I did West wander around during the day, so I did a little bit of like kind of feeling it out, but yeah, it was there was kind of a lot of people walking around and stuff, so I really couldn't catch too much. Carly, what did you catch? You seem to catch on more than I did.
I caught the kids in that one room. Like you go up the stairs to the right, and in the back, that back room with all the toys. Definite kids there. But the one weird thing that kind of really stood out to me, the one room I was really drawn to was the one on the left that was like kind of across from the bathroom. I don't really know what I was getting from it. It felt more of like a feminine feel to it, but it wasn't very specific. So, but it was very comforting, which was interesting, but there wasn't really any like kind of story to what was in there or what's been going on in there. So I don't know what that was, but
I got a male and a female, and I got that the male and female it was kind of like an arranged marriage. Like that's like I got sort of like this weird like they were together but not together kind of thing. So there was like a division of the male and female energy in the house. But yeah, I would say the spirits were not. They were happy about the restorations. I will say they really care about that house or that mansion. So there was a lot of positivity. It wasn't negative at all.
No,
I didn't. No, I didn't get anything negative there. That's for sure. And we do have a question kind of on here, so I want to cover this because I did post this, and it's some
Iraq.
Okay, you know who that is. That's one of your tour trips. Okay,
yep.
So I'll let you read it then, Carly, and you can give your thoughts on it.
So he says, my mother-in-law watched her grandmother pass away. She saw a black shadow go from her grandmother's feet to her head. She believes as she was passing. She always wonders if that was her soul leaving the body or something else. Any thoughts?
What are your thoughts, Sam? You're the guest tonight.
Yeah, so we actually were just talking about shadow people before, and like whether we thought they were interdimensional beings or that they were actually formerly humans trying to manifest and sort of like in a different stage of manifestation. I have had multiple shadow figure experiences over the years, and I tend to think that they are more former human, like they're human spirits. So I would say that it is kind of like a representation of the soul leaving the body. It could be someone like an angel of death kind of thing, where it was kind of like helping the spirit cross over to the light. I know it's a family member, so it's kind of like more sensitive, but I'll tell you, I was taking a train from Boston to Salem, guys, and a guy got hit by a train while I
remember you posted that.
Yeah. And I'm clairvoyant, so I see spirits. I saw the spirit leave his body, looking out the window and shoot up into heaven. Like it was like the freakiest thing I've ever seen. And get this, guys, he didn't die. So he was hit by the train. His spirit goes up to heaven. I'm flipping out, like watching this happen, and then found out later that he had a near-death experience where he did pass, but he was revived. So I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah. So that kind of answers the question out there. So yeah, it's very, very possible. So I've never seen anything like that, so I couldn't speak to it too much myself. But I do believe that sometimes we can see people, and you've seen it, so Sam, you've actually seen it. But yeah, I mean, I have heard my sister say, who was a nurse. She was an RN. She used to work at the hospital. She might even be watching tonight. That she'd seen like things as people passed away, like leave their bodies and stuff like that. And a lot of electrical issues all of a sudden happen in that room or the room next door as the person died. So like interference with TVs and different equipment and stuff like that. So there is some type of, obviously there's energy that leaves us, our soul, so to speak, when we do pass. So hopefully that helps IROC out a little bit there with
Carly. What do you think? I mean, do you think that there's significance of the black shadow as opposed to, say, like a translucent white shadow?
I think that pretty much is just how they're capable of manifesting themselves, like how strong they are, or how fresh the soul is from the exit of the body.
Right.
Because that's all the body is just a cocoon. It's just a shell of us. The real us is the soul, which is the spirit or the ghost. So I think that from my experience with shadow figures, it usually is, like, especially in the hospital, typically is like a newer soul that has just left, because they're not that strong to manifest a full body apparition. So it's either white or black, whatever,
Yeah. Could be just how that individual perceived it too.
Right.
That is true.
It's hard to say, from what the person's own vision and stuff is, or even their own connection to the paranormal or to the other side, or whether it's psychic or like clairvoyant or anything like that, how they perceive it. So, I mean, it's hard to say, but I would, if you're seeing the shadow figure, whatever it is, white light leave a body, I probably very likely is their soul. It's just how you're seeing it. It doesn't necessarily mean anything good or bad.
Everybody's body reacts differently to spirit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, maybe the shadow type figure could mean that the person is kind of sad for leaving. I don't know. It's just a theory, and maybe a white one is more happy to be going. I don't know. I just making some stuff up there, but I mean, it's possible. Who knows? I mean, maybe that's how the soul is perceiving what's happening. Oh, I don't want to leave, so they're a little bit darker, a little bit sadder, or they're like, oh, I'm happy to be out of here, I mean,
or you know what? It actually could be the amount of energy that they're sucking in, because black is the color of all the lights coming in, and white is all color reflecting.
No, it's a good point. Yeah, it is a good point.
I've heard the idea that the shadow figure sort of like is a disembodied soul trying to manifest, but it's sort of standing in front of the light, so it's causing it to be like a black figure.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, there's another good possibility too. So
the shadow that we're seeing isn't the spirit itself, but the spirit somewhere else.
Yeah, and that could also. What are your thoughts on interdimensional beings, guys? Do you think that it could be possibly like a? I mean, have you encountered interdimensional beings as shadow people?
I can't say that I have. I mean, I may have, not really. I have. Well, here's a possibility. I will say this: during a case that spirits did up in Massachusetts, I won't say exactly where, but I did see this really strange shadow figure. So it didn't look human. It's people have heard me tell you this story before. It looked like a gingerbread man. Okay. It looked like the shape of a gingerbread man. That's all I can explain. That's what I saw, and it darted off. And I do think it was actually something demonic, or potentially interdimensional being, appearing in a certain way that I could understand. I mean, that's another possibility. But I have seen some strange shadow figures. So rather than being human spirit, they could have been something interdimensional. I just can't tell you that 100%, though. So is it possible I've experienced those? Yes. Do I know that for a fact? No. But I wouldn't rule it out. I don't rule out anything, Sam. You know me. Because I can't say something doesn't exist if I don't have the proof that it doesn't exist either. Right? But I can't say it totally does if I don't have the proof it does either. But I won't rule it out because we just don't know.
Right.
So it's possible some shadow figures we see are interdimensional beings. I would say that, or even certain light anomalies that tend to seem like they are some type of spirit could be an interdimensional type being. It is possible. Yeah.
I will say this: when you told me that story, like I heard that story when we were lecturing at my book launch in Salem, and the imagery of the gingerbread entity freaked me out. Like I literally, like, seriously, like because I think that they come at your whatever makes you the most terrified or most unexpected, and like that imagery of like it coming in that form really just kind of stuck with me. And it was
just a black shadow figure total absence of light. But it was in a lit room. That was the thing of it. The downstairs, we had all the lights on. So it was kind of standing, peeking it, coming out from behind a doorway. And I did actually have that conversation with James Anito. And he said, usually if it's something demonic, which we actually do believe it was, it'll appear as something that scares you. And I'm like, I got it. Because I had just thought of it. The week before, I had watched the movie, what the heck was
Brothers Grimm.
Brothers Grimm. Brothers Grimm. And there's the mud-shaped gingerbread kind of looking figure that comes out of the well and steals the girl's face. That freaks me out every time I see it. It's like, so it was really week before. So if it was a demon kind of read my thoughts of what scares me, it may have picked up on that. But the thing of it was, I'm not thinking that way at the time. So I actually ran at it, which is why it's like, oh. It's like he probably wasn't expecting that. I ran right towards him. It's like, what the hell's that? What the hell? So, you know, they may try to think of things that kind of scare you and freak you out. But for me, at least at the moment, when I'm in cases like that, I'm not thinking that way. I just saw it and was like, that's weird. And I just want to find out what it really is, you know? So, you know, sometimes I guess it works for them and sometimes it doesn't. So it just depends on the person, right? Or what really scares you or what's on your mind at the time. You know, I mean, you know, I said, next time I'll bring the milk, you know, you go after the cookie, right? So gingerbread man, chase him with the milk. Yeah, so that'll scare him more. He'll be running away from me completely. So me, yeah,
like, yeah. I'm fairly like I'm chicken, so it's pretty easy to scare me. But I have certain things that like, for example, like mannequin dolls terrify me. Yeah, I have and I'll tell you, like I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't want to give it power, but if you like, I've had situations where my biggest fears have been manifested into things, and you know, really, like the shadow figure that wears a hat I've been kind of dealing with that over the past 2 years. Haven't had a situation until recently, but that entity really terrifies me. Really?
Okay. Yeah. Is it just what comes off of it that's terrifying you, or just?
Well, I just can't figure out if it's a human or if it's something else. So it's the whole hat man, and I will say this: it looks at me and it just kind of watches me. I would call it like a watcher. It's neither good nor bad. It just kind of looks at me.
We did have that happen during your lecture. Well, the thing for your book thing that I was down there with you, it was kind of like the curtain behind you kept kind of moving. I was picking up on something. We thought that's maybe who it was, right? So
I mean, I really think it's been kind of an ongoing thing. I will say that, you know, I have channeled it unexpectedly, and it kind of mimicked, because when I was on a haunting, I have the ability to channel, and I didn't know that's what I was doing, and I basically, it kind of took the shape of like a entity manipulation or like a possession. But of course, if James Anito would like it wasn't a possession, it was an entity manipulation. But still, I was taken over by whatever that was. So I've had kind of an ongoing relationship with whatever this entity is. I don't view it as bad, but people have gotten scratched, bitten. Other people around me have been attacked. So I don't know what to think of it.
I wonder if it's either somewhat protective of you then, if other people are getting scratched and stuff. Did anybody, when that happened, did anybody say anything that could have been taken derogatory towards you?
Well, I mean, my friend Dana, she's a high priestess witch, and she was with me, and I was kind of taken over by this entity, and she got bit. Like it literally, like there was something that bit her leg, and this is in Salem, and we were filming Forbidden History, and they cut it from the camera, but I was obviously taken over while I was filming that episode, and she put up like a crystal shield of protection, and I think that it was retaliating toward her, or it could be the fact that she actually is a witch, you know, and we know.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, it could get, since it might have something to do with witch trials and stuff. Yeah, you know. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
You do have in your DNA, you are related to the people who, which you're nothing like them. I will tell you this.
Oh, thank you.
You're related to Ann Putnam, aren't you?
People. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm related to So I'm working on a book called Related to Evil. I'm related to the Putnam family, who were the major accusers during the Salem witch trials, which I found out right after I wrote Wicked Salem. So the same day that you guys were in Salem with me at the book launch is when my mother called me and said, Sam, I think we may have burned some witches. And I'm like, Mom, what are you talking about? And she did Ancestry.com, and it turns out that we're related to the Putnam family. But get this, I'm also related to Lizzie Borden as well. Not only once, but twice. So she saved that information to later because she thought I couldn't handle it. And it really is. I do think that I spent a lot of the past couple of years, I guess, like trying to pay penance to those my ancestors who committed these heinous crimes. You know, I really do think it's important.
Yeah. Well, funny thing is, you got somebody else on here who's related on the side up for the Witch Salem Trails, who defended the people being accused, and that's Carly. She's got an ancestor back there that was one of, and actually found, again through Ancestry, same thing, found the documents where their name is. That I think she told you about that before. So this guy, I always thought that's kind of funny. I know you, who's related to the people who were going after the people, and I end up with Carly, who's the other side of the coin. What are the chances two people who have ancestors came from Salem? I mean,
well, I mean, guys, the weirdest thing for me is I grew up in Florida. So the fact that I knew that my ancestors came from Rhode Island, from Portsmouth, Rhode Island, but the fact that I have these ties to two cases that I've written about over and over again, the Salem witch trials and the Lizzie Borden case, it's insane. So I mean, even like with you guys, like Carly, your connection is all, that's weird too. It's almost like we're being called back to our homeland or something.
Right. And I will tell you, like, did you find a weird draw to those locations? Because when I went to Salem, that was the time when I'm like, I don't know why I feel a weird connection here, but I feel like a really close connection here. Like, I could live here. Like, I feel really close here. Like, I belong here. And that was back when I was like, oh, no, I'm Native American. Like, there's no way. Like, I totally know my
right.
And then it was literally the case of he was not the father.
well, in a sense, we're not Native American, but you're one of the first Americans. You're related to, you're both related to one of the first Americans that came over here. So,
anyway, but the opposite side.
Some of the founders of Salem, right? I mean, that was right around, those were all the founders of Salem, right? All those people and stuff, right? So there you go.
I mean, I do think that the Putnam family, not only were there the bad Putnams, Thomas Putnam, who was the father of Ann Putnam Jr., who was the afflicted girl, but there's also there's Joseph Putnam, who was the brother who actually fought it. So I really focus on connecting with his energy, because there were Putnams who actually did say, like, listen, this is crazy, and these people are not witches; they're innocent men and women. So the brother actually went after my uncle, or the Thomas Putnam, and it was amazing. He was afraid he was going to be accused too, because he went after his brother. Sure.
Yeah. Well, actually, there may have been a Putnam signature on the same paper we found with Carly's, where her ancestors' name was.
I remember seeing, like,
I got to look at it again. Yeah, I got to look at it again, because that may be the one you're talking about, because there was a whole bunch of the people from the town that signed this thing saying that these people were not witches and they knew them and all that. So I'll pull that. I know I've got it on the computer somewhere, Sam. I'll look it up and send it to you.
Yeah, so
I think there's a name on there, so.
Yeah, that document was for Rebecca Nurse. Rebecca Nurse was she was one of the three.
Okay, so you know what? Okay, yeah.
One of the three sisters that was accused of witchcraft, and she was neighbors to the Putnam family, and she was also a lovely grandmother. I mean, she was the oldest, like the sister. So Mary Eastie was her sister, and Sarah Cloyce was her sister. This woman was so sweet and so kind, and the fact that they accused her of witchcraft was shocking to the community. And but Ann Putnam kept at it. She kept saying, like, having visions of Rebecca Nurse. And so it's a horrible situation. So I see a good question in the chat room.
Yeah, we have a question. We have a question for you. I want to, because this one came up first. I don't know if this is one you were looking at. But it's from Barry Martz, our friend Barry. What are your favorite paranormal devices you look to use while investigating?
All right, guys. So I am a huge dowsing rod fan, and so dowsing rods, you basically, so these are charged by a high priestess, and I use them a lot in Salem. Is there anybody with me now? And it'll cross yes. Am I related to Carly? No, I thought maybe we were related, Carly.
Our families went to church together, probably. So kind of, I guess, I don't know. And friends in a way.
So you ask yes or no questions, and and I know, Jack, that you have your theory, like it's basically me controlling it, and it probably is. I will say that.
I never thought it was us controlling it. My theory is we're allowing their energy to flow through us.
Yeah, exactly.
To answer the question, but it's not our energy. It's not us controlling it. They're controlling it we're a conduit. Okay. We're that connection. We're that connection for them to the rods itself.
Right. And
I think that's why you allow yourself to feel that energy and be able to tell.
For me, I'll tell you, like when it's not connecting, I can tell you, and I can tell you, I'm surprised sometimes when I'm like, that's a no. I thought it would be a yes. So it is definitely something that I use a lot. So I do what is called the Estes method. And so you use noise cancellation earphones. Yep. You get a blindfold on, and I don't have, so normally we talked about this, I think, on your show before, but this is the regular Spirit Box. But I do Spirit Box 7. I prefer the Spirit Box 7 for the Estes method. But I'll tell you, it as a clairvoyant, it's been amazing. And I've been doing a lot of sessions for various projects that I'm working on, and I've got pretty amazing results from that.
Yeah, I see. I know from the shows and stuff that oh my God, my mind just went blank. Kindred spirits.
Yeah,
they use it a lot. I've noticed, and I have seen it. Well, at your event that we did up in Plymouth. Yeah, where they did it there, which I found was really fascinating. And you can get caught up with it and forget how long you have people attached to that thing. But it seemed to really give really interesting responses, because the person can't hear what you're asking, but they only hear what's coming through, they said, the Spirit Box. So they're just throwing out the words, and they don't even know who's asking a question or what question's being asked. So and you get real answers. It's just crazy.
What I find that it's important for the people that are doing it, so that have some kind of sensitivity or impasse, because I think the biggest misconception is that you're supposed to say exactly what the Spirit Box says, and really you're supposed to use the white noise to connect to spirit. So it's almost like you're channeling, like you're kind of like a light trance, like connecting to spirit. So not only am I getting words come through, but I'm getting visions as well. And because I'm clairvoyant, so I see things in my third eye. So I definitely think that, I mean, Carly, I think that you would be really good at it. I really do. I think
I think she would too. Yeah.
I just don't feel comfortable with it. With what
we'll get together and try her out on it sometime.
So, yeah.
We bring Steve Cole with it too, Carly, in case you get possessed. It'll be all right. Steve can exercise you. Or James. We'll bring James and Nita with us. Make sure you're okay.
That's the thing, though, because with the stuff that I've been through, they will literally use anything that they can as a door to come in. And after that possession case that we did, I don't want that. I'm good.
Yeah. I know with the device, you're really just listening to the words that are coming through the device, and you're just speaking them as you get them. That's all.
So Jack and Carly, I'm about to work on a case that's pretty dangerous. Just to give you a heads up, I can't talk about it, but if you guys can send positive energy in my direction, because Carly, I have that same problem. I don't chase ghosts. Like I don't hunt ghosts. Ghosts hunt me. Yeah. And I'm like, I can connect. I've been given a gift, and I do think that I'm really good at what I do, but I'm really wary of kind of tapping into the dark stuff, because I think it's elemental in nature. And I want to talk a little bit about, before we cut off, because I know you guys have experience with elementals too. Yeah,
we're almost we're getting close to the end of the show here. But even after Sam, we can sit around and talk about it. I do have one thing I got to announce at the end of the show. But hang around and we can talk about it then. And you can tell us more about it. And we're always here to help too. Or James is always around to help. Or James is a good one to have. We even got advice from him when we were doing our own demonic case there. So
yeah, James was with me on. We filmed in Provincetown. I'm like, James, I need you on this case, and
good.
He's like, okay, and so yeah, he's there for me. But for this coming up case, like I will reach out to him probably because I definitely think that we're tapping into something dark.
Yeah, and if you don't know what it is, you got to be careful.
Yeah,
you really don't know what it is. I do want to get to this one. I think it is a question from Michelle Cook. Both her parents passed away in the same bedroom in our family home back in Boston. Mom just a year ago. Her brother is now renovating the floor where Mom lived, and it's all of a sudden having problems with his dog sitting at the end of the hallway, looking down the bedroom, barking like crazy. Wondering if maybe Mom is not happy at the renovation. So I guess, what are our thoughts on that? It very well could be. Anytime you renovate someplace, activity picks up.
I lived in a haunted Victorian in Somerville, actually, on Hall Avenue when I first moved back to Somerville about 6 years ago. And I will tell you that there was a lady in white. We called her the seamstress, and the seamstress would make herself known. I saw her while I was writing my book, Ghost to Boston. She and I would say we were friends. We were like ghost friends. Like she would like kind of like be by my side while I was writing my book, Ghost to Boston. So I felt really close to her. But when we started doing renovations on the house, she flipped out. And so like we had multiple people trying to come in and like paint the outside of the house, and she would like the ladder would be knocked over, paintbrushes would be moved, almost like a poltergeist like activity happening. And I will say that she went from kind of being like a friendly, nice ghost to like a hell on wheels. Like she would
take off. You're changing my place around. Don't do that.
Like and I will tell you when I kind of fled this house because there was so many things that happened, and I'm like I left the house because it was just getting kind of just too much for me to handle, and I felt pushed down the steps like I was moving down my boxes. And I'm actually friends with a priest. My priest friend was helping me move, and I was like pushed down like the stairs, and it's something like an angel or something kind of like lifted me up. It was the weirdest feeling, but it was like there's
one trying to hurt you and you had one trying to help you. So
it was really strange.
That's a good thing. You had the one helping you too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have fell all the way down the stairs. So that would be good. Would not have been good. So but the spirits can get like that. I'll be honest with people. I hate renovations myself. I hate when I gotta do. I'll probably be that kind of ghost. Like leave the god darn place alone. Get the hell out. In fact, when people want to come in and do a lot of different stuff in my house, I leave. I go out. I just like, you got to change stuff around. Go ahead. I'll come back. I'm gonna go to a movie or something. I'll be kind of ghost I am. I was like, I'm gonna go someplace else till you're done. I'll be back when you're done.
Just Jack the creaky ghost.
Oh, I tell you, I don't like changing things around. But when I do it myself, it's like, it's a lot of work. Yeah,
dude,
whatever.
I'm screwed.
Hey, that's not my problem. I'll be dead. I don't care. We do have a question from Drunkle Phil. Says, I have an off-topic. It's actually not an off-topic question, Phil. Do you think that sleep paralysis has a spiritual paranormal connection? No, I don't. Sleep paralysis itself, I don't think does. I think that's just a physical kind of thing that's going on with your body and stuff like that. But there's times when it's hard to differentiate. There's times when something can seem like sleep paralysis and it's really not. And that's the hard thing when you're a paranormal investigator, is trying to figure that out for people. Because you get people who have had no history of sleep paralysis at all, and then something like that just happens to them where they're held down. They say they're wide awake and they just can't move. Now that is similar. It sounds like sleep paralysis, but there are some minor differences in that they can move their head, they can try to move their arms and stuff, and they can sometimes even move their legs, but they can't get up. So that's, it's minor things. So sleep paralysis itself, in the term that it is, no, we know that's a medical condition that can happen. But sometimes a little bit different. It could be somebody who's really experiencing a serious haunting. So, Your thoughts, Sam.
I actually,
that's my thoughts. Now your thoughts. You may not agree with me.
I get premonitions before I'm heading into a case. I'll get clues through my dreams sometimes, and a lot of times it's sort of like warning me about, like, it's my spirit guides kind of warning me about upcoming cases that I don't even know that I'm going to be working on, and they eventually happen. I had a situation recently where I was in a hotel in Salem. I woke up like this, it was kind of like I sat up like in my sleep, and I saw what looked like writing on the mirror in front of my bed, and it said it was like a lipstick, and it said, "Can you see me?" And I'm like, oh my God, and then it just disappeared. I was like trying to get my glasses because I wasn't wearing my glasses, so I had that happen. I had so the case that was featured on A Haunting, Jack, and you're the one that brought me into that. Like I actually levitated in my bed. So I had it, and we cut that part because it was too weird. But that's why there's a part where I'm tying myself to my bed.
Right.
And the reason why I tied myself to my bed was because I was levitating. I didn't know what was going to happen. And my levitation wasn't a full body levitation. It was like someone was lifting up my shoulders behind me. And so it was like this weird, it wasn't a full body levitation, but just the shoulders being lifted.
Okay. All right. Wow. That's, did you tell me that before? I don't know if you told me that before. I don't think you did. I don't remember you telling me.
We talked to the producers when I was talking with the producers about it. And
they didn't show that part though.
Well, I told them, I'm like, listen, I'm like, this is weird. And they were like, nothing's too weird for us. And I'm like, I told them what happened. And like, that's too weird.
It is weird. It is weird. But it doesn't mean, just because it's weird doesn't mean it didn't happen. Well, matter of fact, most of the stuff that does happen is really weird in the paranormal.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I
I
never discount anything because, you know, we don't know enough, right? So if somebody tells me something happened, I may take it with a little bit of grain of salt, but I don't totally disbelieve them either. So, because we just don't know. So, you know, it's just the way it is. I've had some weird, my story itself that they told, my paranormal nightmare, would probably seems like, oh, it's got to be a bunch of BS to people, but it did happen. I don't know how else to tell people, but I was serious. It did happen. I saw that demonic thing. I heard something else that was more of a, I would say angelic in nature that drove it away. And it scared the heck, both things scared the heck enough out of me. I did away with the paranormal stuff altogether for many years. So, because that was when I was 17, that happened to me. So, you know, so weird stuff happens to people. So you can't discount a lot of things, but you can't always just 100% believe it right off the top of your head either. You gotta sort it out. You gotta, especially in cases. With cases, you've really got to sort through what's going on with people and in their home and all that stuff, and even whatever it is that you're dealing with, Sam. And I hate to tell you, Sam, but our show is over. I do have to do a 10-minute announcement of something special else that's going on, but hang around, Sam. And we'll talk about that other stuff that you want to talk about if you got time to hang around for a little bit. If not, I totally understand. We can talk about it another time, that case you're talking about.
No rush. We'll talk about it maybe this weekend or something. But
okay.
It's been awesome talking with you both.
You too, Sam. Always a pleasure. We'll have you back on again because, we have a short show. We have a 1-hour show, but as you do too. But, you can never cover everything in an hour. So we're definitely going to have you back on. We got more to talk about. So.
Sounds good. Have a good night.
Right. Thanks, Sam. Have a good night. All right, everybody, hang around for just a little bit longer, and we've got an announcement to make. And if she got my connection request, if she was able to hang around, Candace, I don't know if you're still listening out there. I sent you the thing, but if not, I told you we had a special announcement for you tonight, and the special announcement is Carly and I, will both be involved with a new paranormal talk show as co-hosts. This new show is going to be called Seekers of the Unknown, and it is hosted by our very good friend Candace Guthrie Weston of ICU Paranormal. She is the founder of ICU Paranormal, which Carly and I are a part of. And mostly, we'll be switching off Carly and I as co-hosts from time to time. Mostly it'll probably be me, because I know Carly's got her other stuff she has to do. But I wanted to share this with you, and I'm going to share this up on the screen. This is going to be the new show. Let me share screen here. And bear with me for just a second. And so here's the announcement for the new show, because mostly it is going to be me as a co-host with Candace. Carly will fill in from time to time. It is Seekers of the Unknown. Yeah. Candace gave us a nice picture, and I put my other one up there. So we'll be on Thursday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Time. That's Candace's time because she's down in Tennessee, so it's an hour different from us. And for us East Coast people, it'll be 9 to 10 p.m. Every Thursday evening. Our first show will be on November 4th, and if you can read it there, it's going to be a new live show that Candace came up with. We're going to talk about the psychology of the paranormal, investigating and research, and its impact on investigators like ourselves and those being haunted and the general public. It's all going to be about the psychology of it. How does these things affect us psychologically? And I did not see Candace come on, so I know she was doing another show tonight, scheduled to do another show tonight. So here's what we're going to do. I had told her we were supposed to talk for like 10 or 15 minutes about this after. And she's going to give you a good feedback on what's really this show is going to be about and what we're going to be doing with it. It'll be broadcast live on those places you see. Facebook, go to, if you want to go join that page now or like the page, it's facebook.com here to clear, which is the ICU Paranormal page. On her personal Facebook page, which is Clea Weston, CleahWeston. And we're also on the YouTube channel, which is ICU Paranormal. Look us up. You can find our channel there. Like it. It's Candace's channel, but we're part of the team, so it's all our channel. So you can like that on there and catch it on all those locations. We have not set up a Twitch one yet. We probably will do that at some point, but we will be on there as well. So we are going to be holding another special later, well, maybe by this weekend or early in the week, where Candace and I will come on and we'll talk about this a little bit at length, give you more details on it for like 15 to 30 minutes. And then the first show will be, again, it'll be February 4th starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. CST time. So join us for that. Candace, sorry if I missed you. And again, thank you all for watching and coming with us on the show here. And what's that, Carly?
She said she's tried.
Oh, she tried. Oh, I didn't. Okay.
Okay. Well, she said I'm sorry. I tried.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I've got one other thing. If you guys are still around, there's one other thing we have to share with you tonight. I think you'll really enjoy this.
Oh, God.
And this is what Carly does in her spare time.
Oh, no.
And I thought you might like
wait. You got to move the JC Paranormal logo away.
I do. I will remove the JC Paranormal banner up there. It's our brand, actually. I got to remove the brand. I will remove that.
Oh, no.
Leave it blank. We'll go to the blank. Remove it. Remove it.
Oh, no.
Oh, I was trying to add. Hang on. We're just going to see if we can take that away. There we go. And so here's what Carly did tonight in her time with her own show. I will play this for you. She sent it to me. She should never send me things because I always pull something like this on her. There it is. And here we go. So this is what Carly does on her own live Twitch show.
Turn the volume up.
Can I turn the volume up? I think I can. Can you hear it?
Nope.
I got to turn it up on my thing, don't I?
No.
Where do I turn it up?
Over here.
Hang on, people. I'm trying to get the cursor over there. Where did my cursor go?
Stop.
Oh, you're messing with my cursor.
With the thing. There it is.
No, it's not moving. We're having some technical difficulties. Anyway, she acts really strange on there and does really weird stuff. What are you doing?
I'm not touching anything.
Oh, there it is. My cursor finally. Oh, I think it's because your thing is so fast. It's messing with my. No, I think it's fuzzing out my thing over there. See, I can't get the cursor to go over there. Should just go right over. And it didn't.
Well, it's gonna keep playing, so you're gonna have to.
All right, so I'm gonna have to pull that down, people. We'll pause it for a second. But that's what Carly does in her spare time, and amazingly, she moved over here. Oh, yeah, it kind of took over. It's really zooming up my stuff. So I just thought you might enjoy seeing that. It's really strange. We'll have to try it again for you sometime. Anyway, she was dancing to some really weird music and having some really good fun. So,
can I explain myself?
And there it is. Actually, now, yeah, now they got a thing finally went over there.
So during my live streams for video games, I have these things called sound alerts that people can get, and there's one that's called the chicken dance, and it literally is like baka 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 baka, and it's like got techno music, and I was dancing to it, and they had me literally. They loved it so much, the Fruity fam. They can't hear me anymore.
It's because I put the audio up.
Zion's really good.
I love how he totally that. Oh my god, I love how he totally doesn't realize what's going on.
That video is using up a lot of our shit. All right, I'll stop sharing the screen because it's using up a lot of my streaming stuff here, so it's kind of weird. But that is Carly and what she does.
Today, I did like a 7 or 8 hour stream today for League of Legends, which was the game I was playing. Yeah. And it was they had me do it like 20 times because they loved it so much.
It's hilarious.
So check me out, twitch.tv/thisfruitcake2, and the clip is on there. You can see it. I clipped it because it was so enjoyable.
Do different things and sign up and you can make her do stuff like that. So
yep.
She does. She
got a bunch of them.
Bits, I guess. Bits. You do is for bits. Right?
Drunkle Phil over here knows. Irox was the guy I was playing with. The guy I don't even know he was. I don't think he was watching the stream, but the guy who asked the question today. That's who I was playing with during that clip.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I was like, I don't think he knows what's going on over here, because the rule is when I play the game and they do that and I have to dance, I have to drop whatever I'm doing and dance, even if it means that I'm going to die in the game. So he probably was like, why is Carly sucking today? Like, come on. I was dying so much because they were like just mashing that. It was awesome.
So now you all know what Carly does on her other show. Much more entertaining than this. I could tell you that. Maybe we could do something. We could set up that we could make her do stuff like that for this show too. We could have like paranormal dances or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Do the chicken dance, I guess. I don't know.
Chicken dance. Yeah. We could have paranormal music that you have to dance to. And Drunkle says he's watching. So
yep. Nope. Drunkle was watching. Yep. He redeemed it.
Watching. Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed the little special notice at the end, and I hope you enjoyed Carly's extra special share that we did tonight too.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll see you again. Actually, I'll see you hopefully early in the week when Candace and I will come on and give you a little bit more about the new show, Seekers of the Unseen. And we'll talk more about that a little bit. And then our first show with that will be November 4th. So Thursday, November 4th. So check us out. All right, everybody, have a good night. We love you all. Carly's humiliated, so she's all done.
Cluck, cluck.
Cluck, cluck. Cluck, cluck. That's enough. Good night, everybody. We'll leave you with those crazy thoughts.